Let me make sure. We about to go in 5, 4, 3, 2. 95.9 FM. It's your boy DJ Chris Styles. Listen, I have a goat in here. And not a goat, talk about an animal goat. I'm talking about one of the best MCs of all times. Numerous of Grammy nominations, BET Awards, uh, fashion, just brought in a different type of style to hip hop back in 1988. And everybody give it up one time for Big Daddy Kane is in the building.
What's happening? What's happening?
How are you feeling today? You looking good, looking like $1,000,000.
I'm wonderful, man. Everything is good. I can't complain.
Great to have you on. Listen, my brothers and me followed your music forever. Ain't no has, I mean, that wasn't even no has stuff. It was raw. Raw, one of the best, just to me, it's like a battle record because you just coming in and kicking in
Ah,
the door. Just kicking in the door.
but
What
that honestly was the intent, to kick in the door. I felt like it was, finally my shot to breathe.
yeah, and tell me about coming out the Juice Crew. Of a great group, DJ Marley Marl, Biz Markie. Tell me
MC
about
Jam, Roxanne
MC Jam.
Shante,
Yeah,
yeah, Master Ace,
this is
Craig G.
a group of MCs. Tell me how was those? Go back if you can. Those studio sessions
Oh
of
man, they were amazing. They were amazing. Having the opportunity to be in the lab with Marley and work with him. Also, being able to just be there with other artists, like the day we recorded the symphony. Me and Cool G Vap working together, Master Ace, Craig G. And then going to see Biz sessions and seeing how Biz worked and how creative he was. It was always something amazing.
and you came out with albums back to back to back. On that first album, that first set of records that you created. Did you expect that to pop off? It was thick top five in the hip hop charts. I think made it up to 30 in the 200 Billboard, which is tough. Back you talk about back in the 80s,
Yeah,
making
yeah,
it
because
top 30 in
nobody,
Billboard.
yeah, because nobody was really focused on hip hop. They didn't really consider it a genre at the time, so it was definitely really tough. But yeah, I mean, I thought that it was going to do well because Raw was doing well. It was like we had a song out with Biz called "Just Rhyming with Biz," and it was getting local success. But when we dropped Raw, um, Warner Brothers, they were like, don't press no more. We want him on the label, and they brought me to Warner Brothers and put it into movie colors, and it started getting worldwide. So I was like, I felt like, yeah, things is about to happen.
95.9 FM. We got Big Daddy Kane, who will be here September 14th at the Fresh Fest. Thinking about the history of how a lot of people follow behind you. When we talk about style, we talk about flow, we talk about lyrics. You brought everything together, and I think you was ahead of your time, especially with the R&B-ish type production. And now you're starting to see it now. Did you foresee that when you were recording? Because everybody else is just lyrics, lyrics, lyrics. You was lyrics, dancing, style, and smoothness.
Well, I mean, my vision was to be an artist, because I was already a lyricist and I pretty much proved my point as a lyricist. So my vision was to be an artist. And as far as, the R&B stuff, hey man, Heavy D had, Don't You Know, and, Mr. Big Stuff. LL had I Need Love. Prior to that, pretty much everything that the Sugar Hill Gang and Flash and the Furious Five put out was, you know, replayed disco music, you know, by a studio band for Sugar Hill Records. So I mean, as far as I felt like, it's part of hip hop.
Absolutely. 95.9 FM Big Daddy Kane is in the building. And I won't call it a resurgence, but after COVID and we got the 50 years of hip hop, we see a lot of legendary rap. It's feel good to me because like my childhood is back. A lot of you guys are touring, a lot of guys are putting out music now. And I
Yeah.
consider hip hop, we grew up now. We finally got to see what hip hop looked like as older.
Yeah.
how did that change for you? Now you see more tours coming, more people come to the shows.
Well, I mean, with me, being from New York, I was pretty much an adult when I finally got to see the Treacherous Three perform with Kumo D. When I finally got to see, Cold Crush. So I was already, accustomed to older artists performing in hip hop. But right now, I think that it's beautiful, especially to see MC Light with the new project. LL Cool J, his album is phenomenal. I think this might be the best LL album ever. Rakim has a new project out, Pete Rock and Common. I think it's beautiful because just for the simple fact that you have artists like Patti LaBelle, Ron Wisely, Charlie Wilson, they're still doing their thing, and their fan base and supporters are coming out to support them. So, we need that in hip hop.
Absolutely, and I say this about hip hop. We are at a spot where now we can start celebrating. We should have been already celebrating you guys, but now having going to these concerts. I just went to the Missy Elliott and the Busta Rhymes concert, and it was sold out like crazy. I'm like,
Mm.
yes, this is what we envisioned for it to be. Should there be a subgenre of hip hop for artists like you, like we call it? Some people might call it adult contemporary or adult hip hop or whatever term that Knife Wonder and I think another artist was talking about this. Should they be a subgenre separated from what we have from today's music and artists like you, Kim, MC Light, who's putting out music? Should it separate it at this point?
Um, I'm not going to say separate, because that sounds too much like it's not
Right.
for the younger generation.
Correct.
So I'm not going to say separate, but I wouldn't mind there being a term for it, and I love the term that LL gives it. LL calls it timeless music, timeless hip hop, and I love that term. So I use that a lot when I reference it.
Yeah, I use raw hip hop a lot. I says raw hip hop to the essence
Mm.
of the core elements of hip hop. Now, are we gonna see a new album from Big Daddy Kane? Or you working? I see you in the studio now because I can see the back wall and everything. I can see the that means you was working. You just turned around to get this interview so you could turn back and get some lyrics.
Something like that, man. But yeah. We're working on some new stuff right now. We're working on some new stuff right now. I've been cursed out by LL and Q-Tip, and Busta been trying to get me, to do something for several years now. So yeah, we're gonna make it happen.
95.9 FM, Big Daddy Kane. The legend is here in the building. Why has the entertainment portion of our performances whined just a little bit? Like the newer artists don't party like you do. Like you still do a couple dance moves for the last 20 to 30 years. That I'm like, man, he can still get his leg over and do a split and do all this. What keeps you moving like that? What keeps you going? Why hasn't performances been like that lately with other artists?
Um, well, I mean, I guess it's a matter of passion. You know, I come from an era where you saw people like Dougie Fresh, Run DMC, Houdini that put on tremendous shows, stage shows. So I wanted to be able to do the same, to be able to perform on that type of level, that type of magnitude. Um, it's a younger generation where that's not their thing. They didn't grow up off of that. So I think that they do things a little different. Their thing is like uh from what I've heard them say is it's about the vibe, you know. So I mean I guess that's where they're at with it, but I mean I would love to see artists that have great stage shows. Matter of fact, I think that the Migos put on a great show, and
Yes, yes.
Lola
Lola
Brooks
Brooks is
put
different.
on a great show.
She's different. 95.9 FM, Big Daddy Kane is in the building. Did you ever foresee that hip hop will be here when you started? Because it was so new. so new, and you
um,
years later, did you foresee it as being? I say hip hop is the new pop music because everybody's doing some type of resemblance of hip hop.
yeah. Well said. I'll agree with you on that. Um, I mean, I always thought the hip hop was going to be really big because when you heard people talk about it back in the days, they were referring to it the same exact way they referred to rock and roll in the beginning. That it was, they called it devil music. They called it something, trendy. It's not going to last. And you saw what rock and roll did. So I expected hip hop to do the exact same thing.
Absolutely. 95.9 FM, Big Daddy Kane is in the building. Let's talk about some of your past. When you're coming up to your last few records, um, uh, I seen an article and that you was in an interview and you said, yeah, I was upset with the producers. I didn't get the beats I did. Then I had to go back and look into myself and say, well, it wasn't them. It probably was me.
No, it wasn't no probably. I knew it was me. Once I listened to some of the artists that were new artists at that time period, I realized it was me.
What went in with that change, or does it like? Because I know it is a tough thing to have one style, one flow for so long, and then you seen the changing of the landscape of it, and you being such a dope lyricist. Were you just not listening to the music that were out, or you was just like, yo, I just know this is going to work because it's been working?
A little bit of I know this is going to work because it's been working, but then also, when you're playing your music, you're normally playing it around people that you know, and they're accustomed to your sound. So, they're like, we love it. It's dope. Maybe I should have played it around some people that I don't know, played it around some younger cats, and they would have probably been like, I don't know about the way you flowing on this, my brother. You know, it might have been, they may have said that beforehand.
And that's you get that a lot of times. I get that a lot of times on my show. They're like, "Oh, it sounds good." That's when you got them yes man in the corner. And
Well, I mean, yeah, sometimes you got yes men, they want to be around,
yeah,
I'm not gonna, mess up being able to hang out, get in the club free and all that. But then, sometimes it's just people they like the way you sound.
oh,
They've been
that's true.
listening, what I'm saying? It's not that they're yes man. It's like this is what they want to hear from you. I
You
mean,
want
I
to
have
get
friends to today that's like, when I see them, they like, yo, you need to put something out like raw again. Right now is the time, because that's what they want to hear. You know, I don't hear nothing
and
on
you
the
can't be
radio
mad at it.
anyway that sounds like raw, but that's what they want to hear. You know,
Yeah, but so here's a crazy thing about that. Here's a crazy thing about that. I wouldn't mind that either now because it
Mhm.
breaks it up. Like I want to hear you get busy with on a Pharrell beat. I want to hear you get busy on some other people production, right? But then also I do want to hear that type of sound every now and then because you just know where you was coming from. Like you just went in the studio. I'm just gonna rip the mic down, and that's what you get.
Well, that was a conversation that I had with one of the people that I'm working with, and I explained that to them that yeah, we're gonna have to do one of those type of songs. Um, and I explained that I was like, but it need to come from someone knows how to make a beat that's like 113, 115 beats per minute. And yeah, we need to give them that, fast paced BDK feel. But the difference is now I know to watch my cadence, and delivery, you know.
And how was that when you write now? Do you still write? Because a lot of people just come off the top of their dome now. Are you
Nah,
still?
I don't, I mean, all my freestyles are always going to be written. Like off the dome is something that I would do every once in a blue moon in battles.
Mhm.
But all my freestyles were always written, and that's the way it's always going to be because I look at it from an artist standpoint that you're painting a picture, and when you paint it, you want it to be a masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? If I'm just sitting there just throwing stuff at you, then that's some abstract art that people either going to see it or they not.
Right. And so, because it's always amazed me. I always wanted. I'm not a rapper. I'm just a part of it, just a DJ. But I find it so fascinating that you guys the knowledge and the intelligence and the charisma it takes to write these rhymes for it to make sense, like having a whole conversation. Well, how does your writing process go? I don't know if anybody asked you this, but what's your writing process in the studio? Do you sit down,
Um,
beat? Do you just go
it
with it for a
depends.
full week?
No, it depends. It's like, sometimes I'm in a zone and I'm feeling something and I start writing a rhyme. And in that type of case, I have to find a beat that matches it. Right.
Mhm.
Then, other times people give you production and you're writing to the production. You feel the flow. Oh, I need to be like this on this track. Oh yeah. Oh, I can change it up on these 4 bars right here and do it like that. You feel, and then, there's sometimes where you might see a direction like this is something sentimental, or this is something like this is a song about a certain type of grievance. And I might walk away from it and go sit down and listen to some David Ruffin or some Otis Redding just to get in the zone, you know.
David Ruffin, you get to one of the mean zones where you can say David Ruffin.
So you're right.
That's another level of thinking. 95.9 FM. We got Big Daddy Kane here for the Fresh Fest September 14th. He will be here in Cleveland, Ohio. When was the last time he was in Cleveland?
Man,
Uh-oh.
I don't I last put like this here. Last time I was in Cleveland, Mr. Alberts was still open.
Oh, what? He was there. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But the
So
fact that you spit out Mr. Alberts makes it that no, that's a legendary spot.
oh yeah, yeah. I sometimes stay an extra day just to do a little shopping, back in the days for some gators and stuff like that.
Where did your fashion sense come from? Like you are fashionable, you love fashion. Way before this new generation talk about fashion, I say, yo, Big Daddy Kane was fashion. Hip hop was it. Where did you get your fashion sense from, and where is it now? And have you ever collabo right now with any clothing brand?
Nah, I pretty much work with independent designers, but my fashion sense, my pops was a fancy dresser, and then when you was young, you grew up watching the pimps and the hustlers around the way, and the way they dress and they pull up and they deuce in the quarters and they Eldorados and whatnot, and you're like, when I grow up, I want to do like that.
Yeah, because I think you was one of the best dressed, one of the best dancers out there, putting on the show. Big Daddy Kane. A couple more questions, if I could, from you. Do you ever feel that you at some point you didn't get your flowers? When we're talking about the pioneers, your name comes up, but don't I think it should come up a lot more because you paved the way for a lot of styles of hip hop what we have today.
I mean, people gonna like what they like. I mean, I feel like I do get my flowers. I've never made music for someone that writes for Billboard magazine or someone that writes for Source magazine or anything like that. I never made music for Rolling Stone. Um, I made music for the people, and the people, they always show love. They come to the concerts and they say amazing things like, yo, your music got me through college. Your music got me through nursing school. Your music got me through Desert Storm. So I mean, those are the flowers that I look for. Uh, I like what someone puts in a magazine or on their website. That's their opinion and they're entitled to it. I'm cool with that.
Well, we know here at WOVU 95.9 FM, we still play all your music. It's already in our system. It's played continuously. I play it, and I just want to give you flowers for paving the way for me, for being a DJ, and also being on the radio, inspiring me, listening to your music, and get me through just life. Period.
I appreciate it. And see, that's what I'm talking about right there. What you just said. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the as you say, flowers that matter, you know.
And it's really dope. Like I said, you one of my icons, and I'm trying not to fan out right now because I never thought years later I'm like, oh, I'm talking to Big Daddy Kane. At the time, listening to Raw. At the time, listening to Ain't No Half Stepping, Smooth Operator. I could go on and on with the dope.
Here we are, baby. Here we are.
We hear crazy. So tell me some of the best battles you've been in. Like did you ever battle Rakim? Because I thought that should have went down. Oh, we just didn't see it.
Nah, we never battled.
What? Man, I would have thought y'all did it in the back room somewhere and
Uh,
nobody knew about it.
nah, that never happened. They tried to make it happen, I think 1990 or something like that, pay-per-view event, but it fell apart, you know,
Is
but
it, is it is it a story out there that you battled somebody that we didn't know? Like I said, it was in the back room, pool hall somewhere, and y'all just let's get it in.
I battled several, rappers that made albums before. Um uh I guess probably the most known would probably be K Solo, you know. But yeah, there were several others that I battled.
On a quiet tip, a quiet battle, and didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, this was like inside a hotel, like in the hotel hallway, and it was really just me, him, I think PMD and my boy JC.
Oh, that's dope. I
Yeah.
need to be a fly on that wall of
Uh,
of those battles and everything that's going on. You're touring a lot. You've been asked for what can we expect for the next 5 years from Big Daddy Kane now?
I think that you can expect to see me more visibly on film and television. That's
So let's talk about that. Yes, you are a good actor.
thank you, thank you.
You are like what? That's the real question. Is the real question is why did you stop?
It's a matter of getting the right roles.
Okay.
There's so many productions out there, so many different opportunities to be part of different projects, but sometimes they can be the wrong project, and taking too many of the wrong projects will put you in a certain box where that's the only place you're going to work. So it's like you have to really be selective. um that type of thing.
Yeah, because I think that was a natural progression for you. I thought that was like, oh, okay, he's moving to another realm of his talents and everything. And then I was like, man, my man Big Daddy Kane, he need to be more on the film. And I see you more on Instagram too. I see you more in social media. Tell me has that changed with you working within this entertainment industry for you?
Well, I mean, a way to connect with your supporters. Um, I used to do it, when they started Twitter, but I just felt like Twitter just started turning into too much debates and arguments, and I kind of, fell back. But Instagram, it seemed like, it was more fun, especially, because, you could post up, videos and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I think this is a good way to engage. People can hear what I'm listening to, vibe out on what I vibe out on, see them type of things, show them old photos. And I felt like it was a great connection with my fan base. So, that's where I'm at most of the time. I
Yeah.
got TikTok and Facebook as well, but I'm usually on IG the most.
And I think IG shows more your personality. I got to know you a little bit more on some things that you like, so you dislike. Us always this is real dope because I do follow you. So if I could look at you use Spotify, what streaming service you use to listen to music?
I listen to music on WBDK.
You still on the radio? Oh, BTK.
Yeah,
Whatever I play.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So okay, we'll go down the line.
Nah,
Yo,
but also I rock the bells on Sirius XM.
oh, really
Yeah,
dope. Rocket
yeah,
Bell. Still,
yeah,
so
yeah.
if I could get a list, because Spotify every year have a list of people you listen to most, right? Your top 5 artists that you listen to the most.
The most I would say
Any genre.
David Ruffin, Willie Hutch, Anthony Hamilton, Coogee Rap, I don't know who else I listen to a whole lot. I don't know. Maybe Biggie. Yeah.
Brooklyn's in the building with
Yeah.
Biggie. That David Ruffin is the one that sticks out for me because I'm a huge Temptation fan. And David Ruffin is, I think, is underrated immensely for just being one of the better singers of all time. And that's just me. Maybe I'm right or wrong. I don't know. I don't care. But what mood does David Ruffin put you in, like when you listen to it? Because that's the second time you said his name. So obviously he resonates. What was the first time that you heard that?
Well, I mean, it's like the pain that you hear in his voice, I think is just so soulful, man. And then, like, you know, the stuff that his range was just extremely incredible. Like, there was this joint that me and Gerald Levert used to listen to and always sit and chop it up and talk about, called the Double Cross, where the stuff that David was doing vocally was so phenomenal, man, that you never hear hardly any singers do that, you know. So yeah, I mean, just the pain that you hear in his voice and his vocal range, phenomenal.
It is phenomenal. Shout out to David Ruffin, man. God rest in peace for this man. Hey, listen, I appreciate you coming on. Yeah, my phone went off too. I'm looking at the same. Don't worry about it.
Nah, that was my doorbell.
Okay.
Yeah.
September 14th, Cleveland, Ohio, the Fresh Fest. What are you expecting here to see in Cleveland?
To see in Cleveland?
Yeah. Any place you want to go? Because you've been here a long time.
No, I just want to see the people. That's all I need to see. I need to see people come out, enjoy themselves, and then we're gonna make it happen.
Last year we had Kara as one. We had years before that, we had DJs Kid Capri, Spinderella. So now we have the man himself, Big Daddy. Can you come with your dancers? Now I gotta know. I gotta set this up
right now.
You coming with your dancers and everything, right? Everybody's coming. The whole crew.
Yeah, the whole crew is coming, man. The whole crew is coming.
Oh, man, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for spending your time with me at WOVU 95.9 FM. If you get an opportunity when you get to Cleveland September 14th, come up to the station. Come check it out. This is independent, Black-owned radio station, and we run all our own music. So
respect.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, brother. Peace.
That was Big Daddy Kane. Shout out to him. Don't forget September 14th, Fresh Fest here at Red All Farms. Make sure you guys check that out. Big Daddy Kane will be here performing. It's going to be another one. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be great. Can't wait. 95.9 FM. We'll be right back as always. Peace.